On July 18, 1995, Theresa Jolynn Ritchie had made a call to a Dayton, Ohio 911 operator that her 4-year-old daughter Samantha was missing. The local media extensively covered the disappearance. Neighbors had told police detectives it was not uncommon to see the child climb out of her window and wander around the neighborhood. 4 days later, on July 22, 1995, law enforcement investigators found Samantha's body in a water-filled pit on the grounds of an abandoned foundry 2 blocks from her house. 2 weeks later, 24-year-old Ritchie and her boyfriend, 43-year-old Ernest Brooks, were charged with her murder after confessing. At her 1996 trial, Ritchie's boyfriend testified the two were having sex in Ritchie's basement when Samantha walked in on them. Ritchie had become enraged and hit her daughter in the head with a cast she had on due to a broken arm. She then proceeded to grab a wrench and used it to cave in the back of her skull. They carried her body around the corner and threw her in the pit. For his testimony, he was given a 5-year prison sentence and was released in 1998. Theresa Jolynn Ritchie was convicted of first-degree murder, abuse of a corpse, tampering with evidence, and inducing panic and false alarm. She was sentenced to 15 years to life in Ohio State Prison. Currently, right now, I'm standing on the corner of Webster and Herman Street here in Dayton, Ohio, and this is a rougher side of town for sure. If you see in the middle of your screen right there, that's 704 Webster Street. That's where Jolynn's boyfriend, 43-year-old Ernest Vernell Brooks, lived. I imagine they would hang there sometime, smoking crack, having sex, so forth and so on. And she literally lived right on the other side of this house here at 809 Herman. And this is the house where the murder occurred, in the basement over 25 years ago. I always wonder when I do these videos if the occupants of the house know what occurred there so many years ago. So after they killed her, we're gonna walk down the street. I'm gonna show you exactly where they placed her body. According to Brooks's testimony, after Jolynn struck the girl and killed her, they carried her body about a block to the corner of Webster and Dietrich Street. Now, back in the day, this was an old abandoned iron foundry. So there is nothing here, just an abandoned building. And they carried this poor little girl's battered corpse, and they placed her in an old retention style pond. And while everybody is making flyers, going door to door, hundreds and hundreds of volunteers and police, overtime man hours searching for this little girl, her little body was in this pond right over here. And you can see at the site where they found her body, her family, I believe, planted a tree in her honor. Every time that I read these stories, I keep thinking that I can't be any more shocked until I read something like this. Okay, we're gonna head over to little Samantha's final resting place. And here we are at the Bear Creek Hillgrove Cemetery here in Dayton, Ohio. I've actually been at the cemetery quite a few times, but I did not know this little girl's story or that she was buried here at the time. And we're approaching her grave. This is Samantha Ritchie's grave right here. Look at that face. How could you even yell at her? Barbaric witch. She would have been 31 years old this year. Rest in peace to this poor little girl. She is not buried alone here. There is some people with the last name Ritchie as well. I don't know if that's the parents of her father or not, but let's hope that evil woman never ever sees the light of day ever. As far as I'm concerned, I hope she rots in prison for the rest of her friggin' life. Alright guys, Lamont at large, I'm signing out. I'll catch up with you on the next vlog. Peace out.